Hi everyone, it's Heather. So it is Sunday afternoon and I just got back from grocery shopping for me and my son, and I wanted to talk this week a little bit about how I meal plan and stay on budget for us as vegans. But before I want to get started, I actually had a funny experience in the grocery store, and I think most vegans have funny experiences in the grocery store, mostly because we like to talk about being vegan, and as soon as we hear that word, we are like ready to start talking. But I was at the produce market, and there was this couple behind me with their teenager, and they were talking about their friend who is vegan and how horrible their lives are because all they do is cut and chop food. Like, this is literally what they were saying, that they thought this friend of theirs had this awful life being vegan and that they'd rather throw a steak on every night as long as they didn't have to prep anything. Okay, so of course I had to say, oh, I'm vegetarian for 12 years, I'm vegan and all this stuff, and they're just like, oh, okay, and then we kind of got into this conversation about how their friend is more of a raw foodist, which, great, support it, but it's not for me, and, I can see where some people are coming from because, when we're talking about vegan, raw foodist is kind of the extreme over here, where just general veganism is over here, and raw foodist, like I said, supported 100%, but like I can see how somebody who's entirely meat-based could think somebody who's 100% plant-based is just wacko. So, I told them that, me and my son do eat pizza, and we do eat, mac and cheese and stuff. We just find alternatives, and like, I don't spend my entire life in the kitchen cutting up vegetables. I probably spend very little time. I'd say, under a half hour a day prepping all our food, or maybe an hour. And, it's an experience I like having with my son. I like him cooking with me. I like teaching him about food. I like the idea that he's only 3 and he knows where his food comes from. And, it's setting him up with a good basis of knowledge. So when he's older and he has to make these choices for himself, he'll actually be educated enough to make those choices. So that was my little rant about these people who are horrified by vegans in the produce store. But I'm happy they were in the produce store. They were buying a lot of fruit and veggies, but I guess, they still see meat as number one. So nothing I can do about that. I just think it's funny when people think vegans have the most horrible lives ever. All right, so I'm going to try to insert the picture of our weekly menu here and hope it works. So hopefully that worked. If not, I'm going to post a link. It will be on my blog. So basically, this is the menu I put for the week. And I plan my meals this way. Basically, how I plan my meals is that I think of what's in the house first. So what can we use that's already in the house to make our meals? That way I don't have to spend anything. From there, I think of recipes that I can use with the things in the house. And from there, I just pick things that I saw that I really wanted to try. Like the vegan chicken Alfredo is something I really want to try because I used to love Alfredo, and I've been seeing the high-carb Hannah Alfredo sauce recipe for a while. And then everything else, is good, good food that we like, and it's not too expensive to make. And then I just make a list with all the ingredients and go to the store. And then we have our food that we normally eat. Breakfast is typically muffins, like I showed on the little mom's kitchen board, is that breakfast is typically muffins and fresh fruit. And lunch for me is usually a wrap and like some kind of potato, sweet potato, mashed potatoes, some kind of potato. Snacks for me are oatmeal and fruit typically, some nuts. My son is more crackers, granola bars, along with fruit, and then his lunch is usually like fake chicken nuggets and things like that, which I'll show you. So you can kind of see the things we have. So that's the fake chicken nuggets. We've got some of the golden wheat crackers. Tortilla chips, which you don't eat a ton of, but they're good to have. My son likes these chocolate Grammys, blueberry waffles, another thing. Tofu is something I eat a lot for lunch. this Thai mango looks interesting for salad, and I'm a picky salad dressing person because I used to like Caesars and all those creamy stuff. I never found anything vegan I like that much yet. My Builder's bars before my workout. Soy yogurt, my son likes these. I don't eat them much. Peanut butter, we'll go through that probably 2 weeks. We eat a lot of peanut butter. Hummus, the big one, eat that a lot. Burgers is on the menu for the week. We got some hamburger buns. And back there is the nutritional yeast, hemp seeds that I'll need for the vegan Alfredo, popcorn, and some spirulina bars. And that was about $50 at Whole Foods. And then at the produce market, I spent another $20. So that's $70. I would say that weekly we spend $60. And some weeks I'll spend $80, but then I'll be so stocked up that the next week I'll spend $30. Because, like, all the stuff I bought at Whole Foods, we won't go through in a week. It will take us more like 2 weeks. So next week I probably won't have to really buy much at Whole Foods, and I'll just have to buy produce, which will probably only be about $30. This week I only spent $20, I said, at the produce market, mostly because all my fruit is ripening so fast that I'm freezing it constantly. My fridge is packed with bananas, mangoes, pineapples. I have sapote in there, and I can't keep it fresh at this point. So I have a ton of frozen things to go in smoothies this week because there's just no way. So at the produce market, I just got 3 heads of romaine. Like I said, not a huge week this week, a lot of greens. Baby kale, I like putting that in smoothies. It breaks up really nice in smoothies. Some limes for the popsicles and just general seasoning. Carrots, I don't buy baby carrots anymore, so I'll chop those up, and those will be for my son mostly. Celery, he likes celery with hummus and peanut butter and avocados, so that's mostly for him. Green peppers for my taco salad, and a bunch of lemons for lemon water in the morning for seasoning, food. We got some fresh Jersey corn, once again for the taco salad. My son also loves corn, so he'll have that. He probably won't eat the taco salad, but he'll have the rice, and I'll put like the veggies on the side for him, like the corn and the black beans and stuff. Cauliflower, that was for the vegan Alfredo. Blueberries, making blueberry muffins. I also bought a second pint for my son. I got about 3 avocados, so once again, guacamole, avocado salad, and that's really it this week. So basically the steps I follow for meal planning and budgeting is I write down all our dinners. I start making dinners based on what's in the house first, then move on to what's not in the house and what I can make on a budget. Then I know what we eat for lunches and snacks around the house and what we need, and that's pretty much always consistent. The biggest tip I have, and it's the hardest one, is to always write your grocery list. Always remember your grocery list and do not deviate from your grocery list. It's really, really easy to go in Whole Foods and be like, ooh, look at this dragon fruit, or look at this juice, or look at this cool thing, and then it's $150. So, yeah, it's fun, and of course you should buy your treats, but, you know, if you want to stick to a budget, you want to stick to your meal plan, you got to follow the grocery list. You got to bite the bullet. So I hope that was helpful for everybody, and I hope everyone has a good week. On Friday, after we have made some of these recipes, I'm going to write a review on my blog, basically on probably the chicken Alfredo, the lentil sloppy joes, and probably how I make the avocado sauce. So once I make everything, me and my son have had a chance to try it. Friday I'll write a review of the recipes and what you should try or what I would have done differently. And that's it. I hope everybody has a great week.